Cam didn't throw a touchdown or interception yesterday, but he did cough up his third fumble of the season, marking the 5th straight game with a turnover for Cam. In any case, his touchdown to interception ratio of .29, well, not good, as you might imagine. Only Jamarcus Russell, Deshaun Kaiser, Mark Bolger have that low of a ratio through 7 games of the last 15 seasons. All 3 of those quarterbacks eventually benched. So, Dan, I realize that this question can come across a little crazy, and I want to define it. We're asking, is the dynasty over in New England? But let me define dynasty. I'm talking about a team that is winning the division year in and year out and is in the playoff picture. Is that over for New England?
Absolutely. The dynasty is over. It really ended on March 17th when Tom Brady left. Like, here's the reason why. One, they have been a very poor drafting football team. We know that the roster right now is depleted, mainly because of free agents that have left and poor drafting and some COVID opt-outs. But some of those COVID opt-outs are free agents next year as well. So you're going to have to figure out, like, can you re-sign them? They've drafted poorly. Like, go back to 2013. I think they've drafted one really good player in the first round. That's Isaiah Wynn, their left tackle. They've missed on a bunch of first-rounders, in second-rounders, especially at the skill position. So how do you rebuild an organization that right now is struggling through the draft? We haven't shown to be able to do that. Second of all, this was a team last year that wasn't very good. I know they were 12-4, but they were 0-4 against the 4 best teams in the AFC. They're 6-10 in their last 16 games. And folks, it's not just the quarterback. It's not like, hey, Cam Newton's really playing bad football, and if we had a better player in there, we would fix this. This is going to take a couple years. Bill Belichick has said it himself. They sold out. They sold out over the last 5 years to try to win as many Super Bowls as they did, and they got a couple. But the dynasty is over. The next 3 or 4 years are going to look very, very different in New England.
Dan, I was really hoping you would say something easier for me to dunk on there. I kept waiting for you to make a mistake, but I found myself agreeing with all of your points. It was really troubling, especially when you noted that this team wasn't particularly great last year. I think that's where I sort of maybe quibble with the idea of this being the end of a dynasty or some massive change. This wasn't a good offense last year. They had a defense that looked really good in the first half of the season. Then, as you pointed out, they lost a bunch of players to free agency, to COVID opt-outs. Yesterday, that's what jumped out to me, because Cam Newton actually played well in the second half and put them in a position to win that football game. But that Patriots defense could not stop the run, and the absence of Dante Hightower has never been more felt. Kyle Van Noy as well. They couldn't set the edge. So I do believe you're correct in saying maybe 2 years away from getting back. But look, we've seen teams in the NFL turn around very quickly. All you need is a quarterback. Now, it's open question whether or not the Patriots will be in a position to get that quarterback.
Right.
Has to do with who's available in free agency, where they draft. But right now, this is obviously not a playoff team, and I think they are a couple years away from being one.
Oh, my God.
Here we go.
So you expecting me to think that Bill Belichick will not rebuild this team, identifying what the deficiencies are, the weaknesses, and trying to develop and figure out what he needs to do to win games. Y'all, listen, Bill Belichick has always made moves and plays during the season, leading into the season, in the trade season, to shift and shape the difference of his team. Obviously, when you lose the best quarterback to ever play the game, you're going to take some lumps. And then you talked about the opt-outs on defense, obviously. But I expect the reason why they didn't want to sign Tom Brady to all of the money that he was asking for is for this exact reason, that he knew he would have to fill out a roster. Now, I'm with both of you. If he doesn't find a quarterback, if there's no quarterback available to do a better job than the ones they currently have, yes, we are looking at the New England Patriots struggle. But I'm not ready to say that about Bill Belichick and his ability to build a team and put a contender out on the field.
Yeah, as you just said, Bill Belichick, GM and head coach, he said to WEEI Radio today, look, we paid Cam Newton $1 million. I mean, it's obvious we didn't have any money. It's nobody's fault. That's what we did the last 5 years. We sold out and won 3 Super Bowls, played in a 4th and played in an AFC championship game. And this year we had less to work with. It's not an excuse. It's just a fact. Those words from Bill Belichick earlier today. Adam Schefter back with us. The trade deadline less than 24 hours away. Shefty, do we expect the Patriots to be active at all?
I think there's more fascination about what the Patriots will or won't do than there is with any other team in the league because of how much success they've had in recent years. And again, I think the Patriots would be open to listening if the right offer comes along. Certainly seems that there was a value they could do that, but the Patriots always will do what's best for them. So you don't know whether there'll be a buyer, a seller, or how this will shake out. I think there's a lot of different ways it could go. Stephon Gilmore's name has come up. There's been speculation about him. But again, half the teams already have been eliminated in the NFL, unofficially eliminated. Half the teams are alive, but might have a hard time fitting in his salary. There's a lot of questions around all these things. So again, the question remains, are the Patriots going to be a buyer, a seller? I just think there's a lot of fascination about what they will and won't do, Laura.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.